there. Welcome to our cozy English corner again. I'm actually hugging my cup of tea right now because the studio feels a tiny bit chilly today. How are you doing, George?
I'm good. I'm not hugging my tea, but I'm definitely considering making it my emotional support beverage. It's cold enough to make me rethink all my life choices.
Dramatic already. Good start. Speaking of choices, today we're doing something fun. I had this idea earlier this morning. Why don't we take our listeners through a full imaginary day? Like traveling around the city, visiting different places where they might need English.
Ah, a little tour. A day in English. I like it. Kind of like walking through real situations one by one. Hotel, restaurant, coffee shop, grocery store, all of that.
Exactly. A full day, a busy day, a day where you need to practice real life English, useful phrases, and those little expressions that make conversations feel natural.
Perfect. And before we dive into our little day trip, don't forget, if you enjoy natural English conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us keep creating for you. And it's free.
Yes, yes. Subscribe. Keep us emotionally stable. Okay, ready to start our day?
Always, where are we waking up?
In a hotel. Let's imagine we're on a small weekend trip together. Separate rooms, obviously, because you snore.
I do not snore. I breathe dramatically. There's a difference.
Sure. Okay, hotel scene. Picture it. Early morning, soft light, and you go downstairs to the reception because, I don't know, maybe your key card died again? Why does this always happen to me in your imaginary stories? Because it's funny. So, you're standing at the front desk and you say something like, "Hi, I think my key card stopped working. Could you please check it?" Good one. And maybe they ask for your room number. So you say, "I'm in room 214." Basic but important. And a really helpful expression is, "Could you give me a hand with?" You can use it in hotels all the time. Yes. Or, "Is breakfast included?" Essential question, especially for people like me who wake up thinking about food. True. You're basically a breakfast-driven life form. I accept that. Anyway, imagine we're leaving the hotel together. The weather is nice, we're both in a good mood, and we decide to go to a restaurant for lunch later. But before that, maybe a library? Library so early. Look at you being all cultured before noon. I'm a woman of mystery. But really, libraries are peaceful and useful for English learners because you need those small, polite expressions. For example, "Excuse me, where can I find?" And you can say, "Do I need a library card to borrow this?" Also useful is, "I'm just browsing. Thank you." Yes, the universal "I'm just browsing" works everywhere. Bookstores, libraries, even when someone tries to sell you something on the street. True, but okay, our imaginary morning continues. We leave the library and feel a little hungry. So we walk to a small restaurant nearby. Cozy place, a bit old-fashioned, soft music, simple menu.
Ah, I already love it. So we sit down and the waiter comes over. Typical moment to practice ordering food. Like, could I get the, or what do you recommend?
And the classic, "Could we have the bill, please?"
You're already thinking about leaving.
I'm efficient. Also, ordering wrong food is a universal fear. Sometimes people feel shy, but really, restaurants are perfect places to practice.
Yeah, and people are usually kind when you try to speak their language. It's human. Everyone appreciates effort.
Exactly. All right, lunch is over. We leave the restaurant. What's next on our little tour?
Coffee shop? Obviously. We need caffeine for the rest of the day.
Ah, the sacred ritual.
Yes, and coffee shops have their own mini language. Ordering sizes, asking for non-dairy milk, asking for Wi-Fi password, all those tiny moments.
Like, could I get this to go? Or is there a place to charge my phone?
Or, do you have oat milk? I swear this question defines modern humanity.
You know what's funny? In coffee shops, people tend to be more relaxed. It's a good place to practice little social interactions, small talk, tiny conversations that make you feel connected.
Mm-hmm. Baristas are usually friendly, and even if you mess up a word, they'll still give you coffee. That's the best part.
Spoken like a true addict. Maybe. Okay, now that we have coffee, we continue our little journey. And here comes the practical part. We go to the bank.
The mood immediately drops.
Well, banks are scary for everyone, even in your own language. But for English learners, some phrases are super useful.
Agreeing. Like, I'd like to open an account, or could you help me with the transfer?
And what documents do I need? Always needed. Banks love documents more than life itself.
Chuckles. True. And after surviving the bank, I think we deserve something more pleasant.
Bookstore. Bookstores make everything better.
Soft smile. They do. Quiet, peaceful, smells like new pages or old pages. Both are good.
Warmly excited. In a bookstore, you can practice things like, do you have this in paperback? Or, is there a discount on this?
Calmly. Or the classic. Could you order it for me?
Reflective. Bookstores are emotional places. People go there with their dreams, even if they don't say it.
Softly. That's true.
Okay, after bookstore, where should we go next?
Grocery store?
Laugh softly. Perfect. Very realistic. Every day ends with groceries.
Humor. Unless you forget them and order takeout instead, like a responsible adult.
Laughing mood. But yeah, grocery stores are full of useful phrases. Where can I find? Do you have this in a smaller size? Is this on sale?
And they're also full of people who bump into your shopping cart.
That sounds like personal trauma. It is. Okay, after groceries, we could take a break and go to the movie theater.
Yes, a classic way to relax. Get popcorn, argue about seats, realize the movie started 5 minutes ago.
Every time. And phrases like, what's playing today? Or, 2 tickets, please,
And is this seat taken?
usually asked in a whisper.
Is this seat taken?
Perfect. Okay, so we've covered like half the city, and we're not even done with our imaginary day. We're still walking, talking, practicing English everywhere.
It's like a reminder that language lives in everyday moments. Hotels, restaurants, coffee shops, banks, bookstores, movie theaters, grocery stores, all those tiny interactions.
And daily routines. Just living your life in English.
Exactly.
So, part one ends here, but our day is definitely not over. We still have more places, more expressions, more little emotional moments.
And we'll continue right where we stopped.
All right, we're back in our little imaginary city, still wandering around with our coffees and our bags of groceries. I kind of like this feeling, like we're two characters in a slow, cozy movie. A movie where nothing dramatic happens, but somehow we talk for hours. My kind of film. Mine too. Okay, so in part one, we survived the hotel, restaurant, library, coffee shop, bank, bookstore, grocery store, and movie theater. That's already a whole day. But our listeners know life is busy. It never stops at one place. Right. And English practice doesn't stop either. So let's keep going and explore more everyday situations. Maybe after the movie theater or walking home through the city center. Mm-hmm. Imagine it's getting dark, the air feels soft, people are walking slowly. There's this peaceful evening vibe. And then, of course, we pass by a small street food stand. Of course, you would food again. I'm consistent. But street food places are great for practicing quick English, short, simple interactions. You might say, "Could I get one of these?" Or, "Is it spicy?" Or, "Can I pay by card?" And sometimes the vendors speak fast because the line is long, so it's good listening practice too. Yes, and people shouldn't feel nervous. It's totally okay to say, "Could you say that again, please?" That one saves lives. It does, and stomachs too. You don't want to accidentally order the super spicy option. Tragic story. But okay, after grabbing some food or pretending to grab some, we might head to the park for a little walk. Parks are great for gentle English moments. You hear people chatting, kids laughing, maybe someone asking for directions. And if a tourist asks us something like, "Excuse me, how do I get to the metro station?" You'd use the classic, "Go straight and then turn left."
Yes, or it's about 5 minutes from here. Really simple, but super helpful.
And polite. Politeness goes a long way in English. Even small phrases like "no worries" and "take your time." They make people feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. I love those soft little phrases. English has so many of them. Tiny cushions for everyday life.
Cushions?
Yes, verbal cushions. You know, they make everything softer.
I'll remember that.
Anyway, imagine we're sitting on a bench in the park, finishing our food, just talking. And then you check your phone and suddenly remember you need to go to the post office.
Oh, yes, another thrilling place.
I know. But it's real life. People need to mail things, pick up packages, ask about delivery times.
True. And useful expressions there include, "I'd like to send this package." "How much is the postage?" "When will it arrive?"
And do I need to fill out this form? The answer is always yes.
Always. Post offices love forms almost as much as banks love documents. It's their destiny. Okay, after the post office, we keep walking through the city. And you know what we pass by?
Mm. A pharmacy?
Yes, good guess. Pharmacies are a common part of daily routine too.
Definitely. And the language there can be simple but important. Like, do you have something for a headache? Or, how often should I take this?
And a very helpful one. Is this over the counter?
Right. And pharmacists are usually patient. They explain things clearly.
People forget that practicing English doesn't always require conversation partners or classes. Just living your day in English, noticing signs, listening to announcements, talking to staff, it all counts.
Very true.
After the pharmacy, we might go to a small clothing store. Imagine I see a pretty sweater in the window and I drag you inside.
That sounds accurate.
And then I start asking the shop assistant, "Do you have this in a different size? Where's the fitting room? Is there a return policy?"
And I'm the one standing next to the mirror holding your bag like a tired bodyguard.
Yes, every woman knows this image, but clothing stores are another common place for English. And staff usually ask, "Let me know if you need any help."
Which really means, please don't leave the clothes on the floor.
Hey, that's a myth. Mostly.
Okay, we leave the store with or without the sweater, I won't guess, and then we head toward home.
But before going back, we stop by a little corner shop. Mini markets are different from grocery stores. They feel faster, more chaotic sometimes.
You usually say things like, "Could I get a bottle of water? Do you sell SIM cards?" Or, "Can I top up my Metro pass here?"
Yes, and the cashier might speak quickly. It's good listening practice again.
This whole day is turning into listening practice.
Well, that's life.
So after the corner shop, we finally head home. We walk through quiet streets, it's getting late, and we're a little tired but happy.
I love that feeling when the city gets calmer and everything slows down.
And at home, we switch to daily routine English, making tea, preparing something simple to eat, saying things like, "I'll do the dishes," or "Let me clean up a bit."
Or, I'm gonna take a quick shower.
And of course, "I'm so tired."
The greatest universal sentence of humanity.
Absolutely.
But you know what I love about this imaginary day?
What?
It shows that learning English is not about big lessons or complicated grammar. It's about tiny interactions, hotels, restaurants, libraries, shops, parks, even mailing a package or asking for directions. They're all moments where English becomes part of real life.
And part of your identity, in a way. When you can handle these everyday situations, you feel more confident, more like the world is open to you.
Exactly. And I think that's beautiful. All right. I think we're ready for the next part of our journey.
Okay, we're back home in our imaginary day. The lights are warm, the air feels calm, but you know us. We can't just stop talking. Our day isn't over yet.
With us, the day never ends. Conversation is a full-time job.
True. So imagine this. We're sitting at the table, having a late evening tea, and suddenly I realize I forgot to charge my phone.
That is the most Anastasia thing to forget.
Hey, it happens to everyone, but it reminds me of another everyday English moment. You know when you're somewhere, a cafe, a co-working space, even a train station, and you need to ask, is there a place to charge my phone? Completely practical.
Yes, and sometimes you use tiny survival phrases like, do you have Wi-Fi here? Or what's the password? Modern necessities. Without Wi-Fi, we just fall apart.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, come on. I've seen you panic when the internet went down for 5 minutes.
I was doing research.
Sure, sure. Anyway, we're home, but our imaginary day still has more English moments. For example, evening routines. People underestimate how much English they use online. Ordering groceries, booking tickets, paying bills, sending messages.
Right. You see phrases like add to cart or continue to check out or apply discount code. It's basically everyday English at home.
And don't forget, forgot your password? My old enemy.
You and technology, a tragic love story.
That's accurate. Now, after we unwind a little at home, maybe we decide to go for a short evening walk. Some people like that, to clear the mind, to calm down before bed.
Evening walks are nice. The streets are quiet, the air softer, and you hear snippets of conversations. Couples chatting, someone talking on the phone, kids saying goodnight.
And if someone asks something simple like time or directions, you use everyday English again. It's 9:15, or it's just around the corner, and you're almost there. Or if someone's walking their dog and the dog runs up to you, you might ask the owner, "Can I pet him?"
Aw, yes, I'm always that person.
I know.
Okay, picture this. After the walk, we come back home again. You wash your hands, very important, and I make more tea because tea is basically the theme of this universe.
The foundation of our personalities.
Exactly. And here comes another everyday English moment. When you're sharing a home, even temporarily, you say things like, "Do you need anything from the kitchen?" Or, "I'll be right back."
Or I'll take the trash out.
Wow, volunteers like you don't exist in real life.
Smiles. Fantasy world. Yes, but all these little phrases are part of natural English, the English of daily living. Not textbooks, not exams, just life.
You know, it reminds me how people often focus on big grammar topics, but what really helps is knowing simple, warm phrases you can use in small moments.
Mm-hmm. Like, take your time, no rush, let me know. They're so human.
Exactly.
And you know what? Even ending the day has English moments. Imagine we're turning off the lights and saying things like, "I'm heading to bed," or "Sleep well."
Or the classic, don't stay up too late.
I always stay up too late.
I know.
But that's the beauty of daily routine English. It lives in the tiniest details. Waking up, checking your phone, grabbing breakfast, going to work, asking a stranger for directions, buying groceries, watching a movie, doing chores, going to bed.
A whole world of small expressions.
Exactly. And our imaginary day showed that you can practice English everywhere. There's no wrong place. Life is the practice.
Nicely said. And I think part 3 brings us closer to the end of this day, but not the end of our journey.
All right, let's keep walking through our little day in English. It feels like we're slowly approaching the end of it, but there's still a few small, cozy moments waiting for us.
True. Any good day has a kind of soft landing at the end. Not a sudden stop, more like gently winding down.
Exactly. So imagine we're both getting ready for bed in our separate imaginary hotel rooms. But before that, we're still chatting because, of course, we are. We never stop. So I text you something like, "I'm back in my room. Did you get in okay?" And you answer with something very George-like.
Yes, the key card worked. A miracle.
Yes, and that's another everyday English moment, texting. People use so many little expressions while messaging, like "on my way," "be there in 5," "let me check," and "sounds good."
Those are essential. They're the glue of modern communication.
The glue. Yes. And you know what else people often write? "I'm already in bed."
Very true. Or good night.
A sweet one. But before we sleep, imagine there's one last thing. You realize you forgot, again, to buy toothpaste.
Why am I always the one who forgets things?
Because it's adorable. So you call reception and say, "Excuse me, do you have any toothpaste available?"
Yes. Or could you send one up to my room? That's a useful hotel phrase.
Mm. Hotel English is full of these polite little requests. Like, "Could I have an extra towel? My air conditioner isn't working. What time is checkout?"
And people don't need perfect grammar for these phrases, just clarity.
Absolutely. The goal is to communicate, not to impress.
Okay, so you finally have your toothpaste, and now you're ready to sleep. But before that, you send one last message. Long day today.
And you reply, Yeah, but a good one.
Exactly.
And that actually brings us into the last emotional part of our imaginary day. You know, the moment where everything gets quiet and you look back on your day. People do that in real life too. They review the moments, the people they met, the small interactions.
And English plays a role in those memories if you live abroad or travel. Even tiny moments at the grocery store or the cafe become part of the story.
Yes, and the more you interact in English, the more confident you become. Even with small things, saying thank you, asking for help, making small talk, solving problems. And eventually, the world feels a little more open, bigger, warmer. I love that.
Not bad for a day that started with a broken keycard and ended with emergency toothpaste.
That's life. A mix of nonsense and beauty.
Exactly.
What about you, listeners? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Where do you practice English in your daily life?
Your moments matter, even the tiny ones.
And now, we're ready to slowly end this cozy episode. Let's go through a few expressions we use today, naturally, as part of our goodbye. Sure. Things like take your time, on my way, and do you have this in a different size? Or could I get this to go? And is the seat taken? Always whispered in the dark.
And if you like this episode, subscribe, leave a like, and share it. It helps our little studio grow.
Thanks for being part of our little English journey.
Wherever you are, have a wonderful day.